This video is intended to help you to run family night in your school. Family night is generally held from 7 to 8 p.m. in the largest space in the school, hopefully a gym or a cafeteria. Let the school know not to provide any extra treats for families like pizza or ice cream, because once they've had their pizza and ice cream, they want to leave. So make it all about Green Actioneers. Don't combine it with other activities or events at the school on the same evening. It's a standalone event. Someone from the school should meet the families at the door to the room and welcome them in. They need to sign in and give us an email address so we know who we've got, and so we can follow up. And the sheets that they sign in on are also a permission slip for video so that we could video them. The people spread out in family groups sitting on the floor. If any family member cannot sit on the floor, we can go into another room and get them a chair. But don't leave chairs stacked up on one side, or every grown-up will go get a chair and the important family huddle concept won't take place. Don't leave any cafeteria tables out or they'll be instantly occupied. And you can't get people up again once they're comfortable at a table. So put your Green Actioneer workbooks in a number of stacks that are visible from everywhere in the room. If there's a stage, put them on the front of the stage. Anticipation of getting a book should help to increase the perceived value of the book. After they've signed in and the presenter, Professor Green or whoever, makes his or her introduction, telling the parents what happened during the day, that each grade studied one local animal in its habitat, and that they all found out that their local critters have a problem, and the problem is people. Here are some of the people problems that we found. Then show one slide for each animal studied and ask the kids to raise their hands and tell us what the people problem is for that critter. So for monarch butterflies, it might be pesticides and weed killer. For frogs, it might be pesticides, weed killer, and water pollution. For honeybees, it might be pesticides and weed killer. For manatees, it would be motorboats and water pollution and weed killer. For sea turtles, it would be plastic waste in the ocean. For coral, it might be water pollution and warming oceans. For Florida panthers, it might be roads and habitat loss. And for black bears, the same. Then show a copy of the Green Actioneers workbook and explain how it has 4 parts. Each section has a coloring book feature, relevant word games, and it tells families over 100 green actions they can take in English and in Spanish. So then your Professor Green, that would be me or whoever decides they want to make the presentation, respectfully hands each family a copy of the Green Actioneers workbook in an envelope and instructs them to open the book and go over it together for a few minutes, finding things that their family can do and remember the page number. So then you give them about 10 minutes and they go through the book and they get really excited about it. And the kids are saying, we want to do this one. Mom, let's do this. Mom, we've got an old car. Mom, let's donate that old car and it'll help the environment. So Mom, let's do that. I'll color that page. So we give them a few minutes to go through the book, and when you know you have actions that they've identified, then explain how the exercise works. One member of your family will give the page number and read off the name of the item on that page. Then your kids are going to look at you, and if you give them the high sign, when I hold up my book and repeat the item name, if your family can take that action, then your kids will jump up and shout, we can do that too. So then you start going around the room and pointing to families. After they give an item name and a page number, then the presenter opens the book to that page, holds it up, repeats the name of the action, and the kids will all jump up and shout, we can do that too. So go over about 10 items offered by families. And then if they have not brought these two up, you can add these. It always gets a laugh. So one of them is use solar energy. And then the kids jump up and say, we can do that too. And then get an electric car. And the kids all jump up and say, we can do that too. And the parents go, what? So in advance of this meeting, you'll have found out what organizations exist in the school that continue the program after you leave. If they don't have an appropriate organization like a green team yet established, you can explain that we're helping schools organize troops under Navigator Scouting, which is an inclusive branch of the Scouts. It'll take all kids, and one of their major focuses is on going green. So now here's a little fun exercise. The parents love it, and it really works. You say, any parents who want to be on the green team, raise your hand. And then the hands go up. You say, as long as your hands are up, stand up. So now you've got 20 parents standing up. And once they're standing, you say, as long as you're standing, come to the front of the room. And then they're all standing in the front. And you say, ladies and gentlemen, here is your green team for the school. Get applause and get a picture, because that's your green team. And those folks are going to help you get this organized and keep it going at the school. Once the families are seated again, it's time for a closing ceremony. You have everybody stand and play the slideshow, Sing for the Planet, twice through. Once, just the video and audio, and the second time, the slides with the visuals and with the script, so that they can read and sing along. The idea is to get the whole school to sing the same song. Once they're seated again, tell the families, now you've got a big decision to make. How many books do you want? Every book is a $20 contribution, and half the money stays in the school to help with green projects right here in your community. Put your money in the box on the stage and take your book. If you buy books to send away to families or friends, put that money in the hat too and take extra books. The book you're mailing can go right in the big envelope. So put some extra tape on both ends and make sure it doesn't fall out. And you can send it book rate, which is less than $4. So if you're running this, if this is your project, make sure you've got a credit card reader for those people who don't have cash. And thank everybody for coming and for their support, and congratulate them for having helped us all get to a clean, green future. Give them your contact information so they can contact you if they need to. Now, please note, we acknowledge that there's some families who do not yet accept the scientific fact that the climate is changing. So if there's any of that feeling in the room, we have a slide that you can put up on the wall that says whether the climate is changing or not, and whether people are responsible or not, our kids deserve a clean, green future. Let's give it to them. And you'll notice if you go through the Green Actioneers workbook, we do not mention climate change, global warming, or sea level rise. This program is ecumenical. We want everybody to help us go green, no matter what they may believe about climate change. Thanks a lot. I'm Dave Finnegan, also known as Professor Green. Have a great program.